Some of you may have noticed that I posted a tweet earlier this week saying Call of the Sea was crap, and you may have also noticed that I posted the tweet after 2 in the morning, meaning I was probably up all night trying to power through it. I was. In fact, I ended up staying awake until after 4 only to fail, go to sleep, and finally wake up at 8 to complete the game. I'd like to retract my prior statement. Call of the Sea is not crap, per se. It is the debut title from Madrid studio Out of the Blue, and is available on Game Pass for Xbox and PC. The copy I reviewed was for the Xbox Series S, because for some reason that released earlier in the day. The gamers out there would probably refer to it as a walking simulator, a game where there's no combat and no real fail state. You play as Nora, a woman in the 1930s who set sail for a mysterious island in search of her husband, who went missing trying to uncover a cure for her illness. The island holds many secrets, and in order to get through it, you'll need to solve the puzzles that dot the very linear world. There are 7 chapters total, and most players can probably finish it in about 5 to 7 hours, with some extra time to go back and find all the collectibles. Call of the Sea is one of those games I can see a huge percentage of those who download it throwing deuces and quitting the game early. Very early. Less than 0.4% of players have actually completed the game as I write this review, and only 40% have completed the prologue. So less than 1% of those who complete the prologue go on to complete the game, and barely half of those people even completed Chapter 1. The game isn't so much difficult because the puzzles require some great stretch of the imagination or outside knowledge, but because the game requires you to be in a specific mindset to tackle each puzzle, and it provides very little assistance in that setup. Like receiving an invitation to a party that has no time listed, but if you light the card on fire, the oils burn 5:30 on Friday into the table. That required mindset is where I think many will give this game a pass. One puzzle I will offer my spite toward has to do with translating words and then somehow using dials to create new words out of those words. I never had the faintest clue on how to complete that puzzle, and I actually managed to beat it on accident. I didn't even brute force it. I actually hit the wrong lever and the thing just fit. I still don't know how that puzzle is supposed to work, as the game is terrible at explaining it, but I'll take the W. One thing I will note about the game, and it does reinforce this immediately in the prologue, is that your journal is absolutely vital to finishing puzzles. The sketches that Nora makes not only tell you what information is relevant, but their placement on the page is often a clue in itself. Nora will give audio cues in places where you don't have all the information you need to solve a puzzle, but she doesn't always do this. It's also not always obvious what you're looking at is a puzzle. The visuals in Call of the Sea are absolutely beautiful, and I think a great portion of the base would benefit if someone wrote a guide that gave a starting hint rather than just outright giving the answers. You're bound for a lot of, "Oh, that's how that works," moments. Except the translation puzzle. I never got that properly. If you have a Game Pass and don't have to worry about bandwidth, I highly recommend at least giving Call of the Sea a try. If you have Game Pass and don't have to worry about bandwidth, I highly recommend at least giving Call of the Sea a try. You'll want to avoid the PC version at the moment, as I hear there are monumental technical issues with it, in terms of performance and graphical rendering. Otherwise, it's definitely worth your time to dip your toe in.